Loot box regulation has been kicked off by Star Wars Battlefront 2, creating such an uproar that EA promptly removed the loot boxes, or the ability to buy them in-game, avoiding the storm that was to come, a storm that they themselves created. The loot boxes in Star Wars Battlefront 2 were so unnecessary to the game that they were able to disable their purchase of crystals with a tiny update, practically a click of the button, completely gutting the loot box progression system later. But that storm I mentioned, the one that EA created themselves, it's here, now. With politicians campaigning on introducing loot box legislation into the United States Congress, and a few European countries have done a lot more than just campaign. I could go over these things in detail, but I'm just going to get straight to the point as to the effect of this legislation that has been put forth in European countries. In the Netherlands, they ruled that anything obtained in-game via spending money or premium currency that was randomly assigned, that could then be traded with other players and therefore cashed out, was subject to gambling regulation. Because even though the game's owners did not value the item, did not put a price on the item, the player base as a whole was able to give market to the item via real-world trades and trades outside of the game. In the United States here, they can simply point and say, look, our terms of use say they have no value, therefore they have no value. They've created a legal fiction, when in reality, a part of their contract, assuming their contract didn't exist, which it doesn't in most people's minds, keep that in mind, the item does have actual value. That's why Counter-Strike skins, for example, get sold. So the Netherlands cut through that legal fiction that muddles up the United States and just said, reality trumps it, loot boxes are illegal if any of their contents can be traded. But most recently, even bigger than that, was Belgium, which went one step further and looked at the intent over nuance, meaning even like skins in Overwatch that can't be traded to other players. On a psychological level, they constitute gambling. The primary intent of this legislation is to protect children from gambling-like mechanics. It boils down to the regulators in Belgium pretty much saying if it looks like gambling, if it works like gambling, it must be gambling, as it will affect children like gambling does. You see, experts agree worldwide that children should not be subjected to gambling during their formative years, and that it makes addiction far more likely if they are. And let's be honest here, that's exactly what these companies are going for, to get children addicted. It's the same reason we limit cigarettes and alcohol to minors. Same reason why commercials like this aren't shown on television anymore.
I got a better idea. Let's take a Winston break. That's it! Winston is the one filter cigarette that delivers flavor 20 times a pack. And only Winston has it, up front where it counts. Winston packs rich tobaccos specially selected and specially processed for good flavor in filter smoking.
When it comes to Europe, there tends to be a domino effect when it comes to consumer protection laws. And I wouldn't be surprised if legislation like this spreads to the entirety of Europe over the next decade. Of course, only time will tell. Now, on one hand, I've done videos about gambling in video games and how I think they're bad. And on the other hand, I've done unboxing videos for Overwatch and ESO because I'm a hypocrite and it benefited me to do so. So while I'd be overjoyed to see Overwatch change, I don't think they're going to change. They actually have a different system in China of receiving loot boxes than they do in the United States or in the rest of the world, because China declared they had to release the odds of getting each item, and because their system is based on algorithms, they actually change dynamically the chances of you getting an item. They aren't set in stone. They couldn't break the illusion. If they did, people would stop buying loot boxes. So instead, they went ahead and changed the system. It was cheaper. They knew they would get more money by creating a completely different system for China and keeping the rest of the world subject to their predatory, algorithm-based system than to reveal it to the world and risk having people stop buying. So Overwatch is unlikely to change. However, Elder Scrolls Online, I don't know if they're going to actually adhere to these laws in those countries or just simply stop doing business in those countries. It's always a chance that these companies can just say, we no longer do business in this country because of these particular laws. And they write in their user and license agreement, you're not allowed to access the game from these countries. And so people in those countries will just use proxies to access the game anyway. And what can I say? It's just silly. Anyway, I made this video because I play a video game called Warframe. I love Warframe, in fact. I have over 1,000 hours spent in the game. And to those who actually play Warframe, they know what it means when I say I'm Mastery Rank 24. For those who haven't played Warframe before, imagine if you took a game like Destiny and you amped up the combat a little bit to make things less bullet spongy, made it more like Dynasty Warriors, and had space ninjas instead of guardians. So you play as a Tenno, and you slaughter hordes of enemies with void powers, guns, and large swords. While the game, in its infancy, sold mission respawns and other scummy things, they grew out of that really quick, and they've always sought to be a responsible free-to-play economy in a way that was going to bring in the money they needed without milking players too much in the short term. They were looking at long-term player trends. So for the most part now, as Warframe is, they do not sell power, in the sense that the game allows you to earn everything via in-game progression, or almost everything. And the few things that can only be purchased with the premium currency, Platinum, you can trade in-game items to other players for Platinum, thereby obtaining Platinum, the premium currency, at no cost to you. So in this sense, Warframe sits up with Path of Exile as one of the best, most consumer-friendly free-to-play economies that exist. The issue is they have two things that you can buy for in-game Platinum: Relic packs and mod packs. The first and biggest defense is nobody buys these, and thank God for that. But getting back on topic, mods are like cards that you slot into either a warframe, a weapon, or a pet in order to boost its power. And pretty much all of the weapons and things of that nature aren't very good on their own. They need mods to become effective in later missions. Now, on the other hand, relics are like loot boxes that aren't opened with keys or anything that you buy. They're opened with in-game activities. You earn relics by playing the game, and then you crack open relics by playing the game, and that's how you get the high-end items, the end-game prime items. The problem with this is the relics themselves can be purchased in bulk via a relic pack, as can the mods via a mod pack. And these packs are randomized like a slot machine. So you may be enticed to buy 6 or 7 or 8 of these packs in order to get enough relics to crack open to get the thing you want. Remember, you only have a chance to get the thing you want, assuming you get the relic from the pack, and you might not get the relic you want from the pack. Anyway, you can also get relic packs via reputation in the in-game factions, but as we've established, these regulatory authorities do not care if they're in-game alternatives. That whole defense that players put forth, and I think is a pretty good defense actually, does not fly in the face of this new legislation. The two aforementioned countries that are now regulating loot boxes. In the Netherlands, they only care if the items obtained through chance can be traded to other people. In Warframe, that is a yes. Therefore, those items do have a real-world value. The value may be negligible, but if there is a specific item that is in high demand and you happen to get a relic of it during an unvaulting, then you can sell that relic. Therefore, it encourages people to pull the slot machine over and over and over. Now, again, my personal feelings are that the system is reasonable, that no one should be complaining about this, in theory. However, the new legislation that's coming forward says otherwise, and that they might be legally liable for this. Different laws in different countries, very complicated. When you do business in a specific country, you are responsible to follow that country's laws. So I can't speak to the different laws in the different countries, as I am not a practicing lawyer. I only know what I've read online, which is pretty damning to the situation right now. So we've determined that these relics and mods have physical value in the real world when a player goes out of the game and organizes a physical trade. We've established that the company can create fiction to the effect of denying that trade within the terms of service, but if there's nothing physically stopping them from doing it, then the item retains its real-world value in reality, even if legal fiction says otherwise. I'm not saying I'm against Digital Extremes making money. I purchased a few Prime Access accessories packs, as well as various Tennogen items over my time playing Warframe. And Tennogen, for those of you who don't know, who aren't into Warframe, is essentially paid mods, in the sense that the community member creates a cosmetic item, he details it, 3D models it, everything, and then submits it to the company. The company puts it into the game as an officially recognized item that you can put on your characters, and any purchase that you make is split between Valve, who hosts the content, between Digital Extremes, who is the company, and between the person making the content. I believe it's a 33.3% split, something along those lines, but I could be wrong. Again, I'm not against Digital Extremes making money. I think they need to make more money if they're going to survive, grow, and expand. As a company, that just makes sense. And I think there are tons of ways that DE could make more money off Warframe than it is right now, and still have happy players about that fact. I have a few ideas, actually, and I'll save those for a future video, of which they could easily receive more money. But relic packs and mod packs are not acceptable methods. They're slot machines. And I wouldn't be surprised if, when realizing this, combined with the new laws in the European countries, Digital Extremes will remove these packs from Platinum Purchase Quick-like. Now, they may only remove it from accounts in the EU region, or they may only remove it from accounts in those specific countries. But something's going to have to happen, or they're going to be subject to the laws in those countries, and that's not good. So, what we've established here is that if there's an in-game alternative, doesn't cut it anymore. If there's a terms of service that says it doesn't have value, that doesn't cut it anymore. Virtual slot machines are actual slot machines, and laws are finally catching up with that fact. I have faith that Warframe's life and death will not hinge on these limited slot machines as they are. But other games will live and die in Europe as laws evolve. I'm looking forward to see how everything turns out in the near future. Just a cautionary tale to all the would-be freemium developers out there, freemium, free-to-play, what have you. Lootbox laws are changing, and I suspect in-game purchase laws will change as well. We no longer sell cigarettes and alcohol to children.
America's best-selling, best-tasting filter cigarette. Winston tastes good like a cigarette should.
And gambling is soon out the door. Thank y'all for watching. Check the links on screen for more content, and I will see y'all next time. Speaking of Warframe, I do have an alliance and things like that. Go check out my Discord server. I'll have a link down below there. If you haven't checked out Warframe yet, I will have a referral link, because why not benefit me more? And that's about it. Y'all have a good one now. You can survive in this battle of life and death, or you can scratch your nose. You cannot do both. There we go. That burns good. Hey, Zarin. Whoop. Chop that. This way. Wait. There we go. Conduits are still materializing.
Data conduit is open. Go now.
Go now. We got it. This is a Corpus area. I really want to just try this with Gara and smash through everything, but we'll have to wait. I think we got a Haro here. Make a lot of sense, really. Korra's, in tight corners and stuff, she's really good, but that makes... it just makes me question, well, why the whip then? Good. That'll do. Okay. Yep. Bonus damage on the whip. That's fine. Starting to understand it a little more. Grab that. Good, good. Can I ask you a question regarding a mod? You can. I might not be able to answer it. I know considerably less than what people think I do. Okay. Good, good, good. Oh. Whoops. Oh wow, that's a pack. Pack and a half there. There we go. Man, they all died. Okay, next zone.
I've opened a new data conduit. Proceed immediately.
In we go.
Fever pitch. You create fascinating readings, Hunter. Do not stop now.
He's probably... Alright. Dark Nuts textures. How would you install the mod using the OpenMW launcher? Well, you import the settings from your Morrowind installation, at which point you just go to your OpenMW loadout and enable the plugin. It's that simple. You just go to OpenMW's launcher and check the boxes as appropriate. Otherwise, you'll have to rerun the installation wizard and make sure that the correct version of Morrowind is being drawn from. Yep. If it's textures, then it probably wouldn't have an ESP. It would just run as advertised. changing the textures of the existing stuff. Good, good. Pretty happy about that. A lot of rage. Yeah, I'm still at a loss as to why I'd use the whip instead of my melee weapon. The whip doesn't have the kind of range to make it a good offensive ability, but then I guess if Gara's #1 didn't cause the rest of the map to explode, I'd never use Gara's #1. I think it's the same with, like, every other Warframe #1 ability that shoots a projectile. I wouldn't use that projectile under normal circumstances. I'd use a weapon instead, because weapons deal damage. I've got a flamethrower. I can switch the flamethrower for a zappy gun. Zappy pistol. Pew, 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 pew. All the pews. My point is that #1 abilities on Warframes that deal damage never sat well with me. Yep. Yeah, I imagine everything you want to install you put into your original Morrowind archive. And then OpenMW draws from that loadout. OpenMW doesn't have any archive, any of its own, anything. It draws from your Morrowind archive. There's a reason OpenMW works the way it does. It's because it's legally distinct to Morrowind. It requires that you share no files of Morrowind. You can just install OpenMW and it will pull out of your Morrowind archive. At no point in time does OpenMW have its own versions of Morrowind assets. All right. Damn, damn, damn. Getting close to failure here. Just hoping that we call this zone done. The thing just got nuked. There we go. I can aim with my sniper scope and then use my whip. It is genuinely entertaining. I've done 30% of the damage. I expected to have done far less using Cora, but you know, when I can smack something for 14,000 damage, I suppose, even though I'm not very effective at mass killing like that other person just did, I can kill one target pretty easily. Alright. Got him there. Looks like we'll get in one more before we run out of efficiency, I guess. The conduit is materializing now. Looks like we got one more around the corner. Yeah, we're going in. And we ended up with 45% efficiency. I didn't think it was going to be that good. Alright, here we are. This is where things tend to go downhill as far as efficiency goes. Oh wow, fell out. Okay. Trying to figure out where I am. Ah, okay, I know. This area's a bit different from how I remember it, but I guess there are multiple tile sets attached to this. Whoops, out of energy. All the parasitic eczemuses. Gotta grab that efficiency stimulus. There was only one for the whole map. That's something. Howdy, migrant. Good to see you. Play music from Pillars of Eternity, and I like do a YouTube search for Neverwinter Nights 2 title screen theme. I rather like the synergy of that with Warframe. I don't actually like Neverwinter Nights 2. I was a huge fan of the original, but kind of like Dragon Age 2, the sequel just never clicked with me. Now, despite that, it's got great title screen music. Okay. Oh yeah, new banners from Walker. Walker's a really good guy. His, I'm so glad he's getting commission jobs because, well, let's face it, he does good work. I linked a video from Jim Sterling to Walker with the message, "You would have done this better," I think. And yeah, he agreed with that assessment. Like that, Jim Sterling posted a kind of like podcasty cartoon thing. Walker would have done that so much better. Alright. The conduit's materializing. We're almost ready to go. Here we go. Wow, that lacked all the effects it was supposed to show. Okay, we're in zone 12 now. Let's get some more efficiency. Oh, have we got corrupted here? Oh, no, it's Corpus. Mine layers. You know they capped it to 4 mine layers now? It used to be that it would just have an infinite amount of mine layers, and they just shower the entire battlefield in mines. They changed that up pretty quick, though. Alright. I don't see any enemies here. Ah, there they are. Okay. I'm wondering about that. They've chopped up the nullifiers pretty well. That'll do. Alright, that guy died in a bomb. Where is he? He's over here. Okay. I can pick him up now. From my kiddo form. No, Migrant, I will check it out tomorrow morning. I got your message. I then lost all of the remaining time for the day, so tomorrow morning I'll definitely check that out. I'm actually very tired right now. I'm playing this from zombie mode. It may not be apparent, but I am ready to fall over and go to sleep. But we're at level 90 now, and there's no sign of me stopping anytime soon. Work faster! Yes, efficiency is crucial to the design. Work faster! Love that. Efficiency and speed are not the same thing. That's the funny part. He's trying to stress you out, because getting you stressed out is part of the experiment. Nah. We're at 20% efficiency. I can keep killing. Oh, shoot. Okay, we may just finish up on rank 12. Yep. What conduit? Oh god, it's up there. Moving on. Yeah, we're about to lose this. Still, I think it worked out pretty well. Oh, God, everyone went down. I'm gonna try to pick this guy up. I'm gonna get down myself. Woo. My Kavat managed to heal me. Despite it all. Alright, the efficiency's dropping rapidly. Oh, shoot. Okay. 6%. No, we don't have this. 7, 5, 4, 3, 2. Oh, at 7%. The enemies aren't spawning fast enough. 1%, 3%, 2%, 1%, and 4%. 4%. We're done.
You exceed expectations. You are far more exciting and complex than any specimen in my sanctuary.
There we go. We got to level 12, so that was something. Okay, let's drop the group here. And we've got Lith, Neo, Meso, Lith. Two Lith Z1s, so that was a pretty good set of loots we got. You see, the way the game works is lower level content is Lith, then the mid to low is Meso, the mid to higher is Neo, and then the higher content is Axie. So what happens is, as you play the game and you get higher level, you have a tendency to amass a massive amount of Neos and some Axies. And then, where are all the Liths and Mesos? Well, you have to farm those specifically for, in order to get them. Like, it's not natural for you to actually go to those lower level missions at that point. You have to actively farm them. Thus, Warframe is a farming game. However, with this new mode, they give you Liths and Mesos, the two kinds of relics that you are, again, at a higher level of gameplay, unlikely to get. They said, at this highest level of gameplay, which is Onslaught, we're going to give you these relics that you normally wouldn't get, so that you don't have to keep replaying low-level missions. And instead you can challenge yourself. And I think that's really cool.